whoop, happy hump day. Okay, I just want to let you guys know that today is just packed full of fun stuff. You're welcome. I want to hear in the comments what you thought of today's episode at the end, how you did on some of the activities that I've included for you, what were some of your favorite parts, but you're just going to have so much fun. I absolutely can't wait to hear all about it. So I'm looking forward to some fun comments, you guys. I mean, I put some work into this. I had a lot of fun doing it. My dogs, well, a couple of times probably didn't have as much fun as I did. Anyhow, I can't wait to hear your thoughts on everything. So please, please leave some comments at the end and enjoy all the fun today, because it is just a great way to get you through the middle of the week. Okay, I would like to welcome you guys to the first episode where we are going to be featuring hide and seek. Now, I have made 5 different collages. This one has the 4 dogs. It has Farley, Penny, Jessie, and Henry all in it. You just have to find them within a minute and a half's time. So I'm going to let you find them now. Right now, they're full color and full, you can see them perfectly like you would in any photo. So go ahead and start looking for them. Again, you're looking for the 4 of them: Henry, Farley, Penny, and Jessie. So just make a note of where you see them. Again, don't pause the video, let it play out to see if you can find them in a minute and a half's time. That's not very long, especially when you're as stealthy as I am and you can hide them really well. So I am hoping that you'll be able to find them. I'm going to keep talking so that you know that you still have time to look for them. But we are almost out of time, so I hope that you have found them by now, the 4 of them, and out in the park, a day in the park with these guys, right? So make a note of where all 4 of them are, and then we will move on to the next one. Okay, here is your next challenge. Again, it's just the 4 dogs. So it's Farley, Henry, Penny, and Jessie. And this would be, a mystical walk in the woods. And what's funny is if my dogs were truly walking in the woods, which they are when we go down to Westcliff, right? When we're out there, looking at our land and stuff like that, really, they don't look like this at all. Their heads are looking for elk poop or bear poop to roll in or anything like that. So, yeah, I was looking at this and I'm like, yeah, if only they looked like this out in the woods. But they do not. Their heads are down, buried, trying to find something to get into or eat and possibly get sick on later that night. It's a good time. But, when you go, what do they say? When in Rome, is that how that works for Westcliff? When in Westcliff, you get into trouble and get into all the good stuff. So again, I have made these guys more opaque, more translucent, excuse me. So they're much harder to see. So, but you're still looking for the same images that you saw in the first video, okay? I'm gonna keep the images the same just to keep that part easier for your eye to locate them, but we're wrapping up time, so I hope that by now you have found them. So great job, you guys. Okay, on to challenge number 3. Again, looking for the same 4 images that you saw in the first photo, but again, these guys are much more translucent so that they blend in. I used a beautiful autumn, fall, look at it. I mean, my favorite season in the world, right? But woods shot again. So if you ask me, this would be like up by my mother-in-law, maybe, up in upstate New York, just super pretty. And maybe it's somewhere else, but to me, that's what it looks like. So you're looking for those 4 puppies out in the woods again. And I'm just loving this time of year. It's getting closer and closer to fall, right? And by the way, if you haven't been to Starbucks yet, yes, they do have pumpkin spice out already, making me happier and happier just knowing that we're closing in on my favorite season. The dogs too. But you know, when it gets to fall and it gets to all the leaves on the ground and stuff like that, I don't know, you guys, I may make my challenges harder and we'll do the find the dog poop in the fall foliage. We all have been there, so don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about. That blends much more than the dogs do. So maybe I'll get hard challenges by the end of fall when all the leaves are down. Okay, guys, you're out of time. I hope you found them all. Okay, we're closing in on the last two. So this is challenge number 4. I did allow you guys a little bit of extra time on this one because there are 5 puppies in this photo. Yes, Angel Annie has decided to join us for this one and the next one. So you guys do get a little bit of extra time. Again, don't pause the video, let it play out to see if you're quick enough to get them all. You may be really fast. I have to sit there and look for things a lot of times. It takes me a little bit of time. I do find these challenges a lot of fun. That's why I did them for you guys too, because I'm hoping you find them the same way. But again, so you are looking for the 4 images from the first photo, but you're also looking for Annie. And I didn't give you an image of Annie, so that might be harder for you to pick up on because your eye doesn't know what image to look for. You just know that you're looking for a 5th dog. So, but she is in here in this beautiful snow scene. And you guys know that I love, 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 love wintertime. I love fall, but I do love my wintertime too. Now, ask me after we've lived at 9,500 feet for a year if I still love winter as much. I might not. But I really enjoy it and my dogs really enjoy it, so I can handle the cold temperatures and the snow much more than I can handle the heat. Boy, I just melt. So yeah, I look at this picture and I'm like, can't wait to go make some snow angels, go skiing, do some snowshoeing, just all good stuff. So we're just about to wrap up with this one. So I hope that you found all 5 of them. Make sure that you make a note of where they are so you can check at the end of this video. Okay, you guys, I have finally worked you up to what I consider to be the hardest one. And some of you may come in here and say, oh no, this is definitely not that hard. I thought this one was harder, but I think this particular scene is the hardest one. Again, we do have the 5 dogs, so you do have a little bit of extra time. So you're looking for Henry, Jessie, Farley, Penny, and Angel Annie. The thing about Angel Annie is she's not sporting her wings or her halo, so I can make her whatever size I want. So she is a little bit harder to spot. But again, this beautiful winter scene. Notice how I didn't really use any summer scenes, and if I did, it was, you know, like in the woods, in the shade. I might use a beach scene one of these times, I don't know. But yep, go ahead and look for the 5 suspects in this Winter Wonderland photo. See if you can locate all of them. And again, just make a note, you know, where you see them. What would be interesting is to see if you can pick out each dog, you know, like, oh, this is Penny. Oh, this is, rather than just doing the 5, you know, oh yeah, I see 5 dogs, boom, 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 boom. Whether you can actually determine who's who in these photos. Jessie's pretty obvious. A lot of times people get Penny and Henry mixed up, especially. I've had people come over to the house that mix them up because he's gotten so big that they'll go to pet Henry thinking it's Penny until he gets the yayas and zoomies and they're like, oh yeah, that's totally not Penny. You're wrapping up your time on this one. I hope you were able to find them all, and I can't wait to see how you guys did and if you enjoyed it as much as I did. I just wanted to share with you all a picture of the king of the ranch that decided to stop by our lot this past weekend. He is just magnificent. We've had the cows and the calves on the property pretty much all summer. And we've seen him from a distance, but we haven't really gotten a close-up, and he swung in this weekend, and isn't he just magnificent? Who wore it best? Okay, this is a fun segment. Are you ready? Look at Penny, she's so pissed. So these are rec specs. My dogs are gonna have to wear them up at altitude, especially with really bright snow and bright sun. I don't want them to get panis and risk going blind just from the intensity of the sun up at that elevation. So I decided to start working with them. They also run through the weeds out here chasing rabbits. So I thought it would be a good idea to get them used to these. And I am the worst mom ever. I mean, these dogs, Jessie would basically look like she was having a seizure trying to get hers off. And Penny would just mope, and you'd turn around on the walk and she had half of it off of her face. Yeah, it was a good time. Look at Henry. He's not fazed at all because he's not being tortured. Jeez. Yeah, level 10, mad at mom, as it says right on here, because, yeah, I really was a big dirt head, apparently, according to these two. So who wore it best? Our next fun segment is Who Will Eat It? Guys, I have Labradors, so anything goes. My dogs will eat just about anything. So the challenge this week was cherry tomatoes. And I'm just going to tell you guys right now, you have to pay close attention to Jessie eating hers. It is the funniest thing ever. I did take the sound out, but I mean, there's Penny. She's like, yep, no problem, Mom. Love it. I wish I had done slow-mo with Jessie. Yep, Farley's like, yep, no problem. I totally dropped poor Jessie's because it's all slimed with Farley's drool. I was like, oh, sorry, kiddo. But watch her. I mean, I tried to get as close up as I can because she always eats them like this. I'm sorry. I just think that's hilarious. And my drooly Julie over here, he loves anything. He'll give it a try. And he's a pretty gentle eater, to be honest. But yeah, he's always drooling. He's like, give it to me, give it to me. But I was trying to poke a hole in it so he could at least taste it. The last time I tried cherry tomatoes with him, he ran it over to his nest and stayed over there with it for a while and played with it first. Next, we have this really fun thing that I love doing. So, can you spot the differences, right? I'm sure many of you have done these before, but they're one of my favorite things to do because I always like to look for detail and see what's different. So I took the logo that I had done for us a while ago. So the back row is Toby, from left to right, Toby, Levi, our Ridgeback, and then Farley. And then left to right in the front would be Annie and Reese and Penny and giant Jessie, which always made me laugh. I was like, she's not that big. Anyway, so I made 10 changes in the photo. So I'm wondering if you can pick those out. And I'm gonna leave you with some music. I'm gonna give you 3 minutes total. A minute's already been used, so you have 2 more minutes to try to figure it out. plated with Penny. I was trying to make it sound fancy. Eric had no idea what I was talking about. I'm like, yeah, on those cooking shows, plated, something's plated. Anyway, hope you guys got it. So we're just gonna feature recipes here, and I would just go ahead and grab your ice cube trays. If you don't have molds like this, fancy molds, you don't need them. And today's recipe is super easy. You just take some organic cherries and rinse them off, pit them, right? Mash them up, mix them with some, this particular recipe we used plain goat milk yogurt. You just want to make sure again that you don't have any xylitol or any kind of artificial sweetener in there at all. And mix them together, put them in your molds, and then allow them to freeze and serve them nice and frozen. If you're not going to put them in anything, I would definitely suggest feeding them out in the yard, but they're a delicious treat. Our next segment is Penny and Jesse. Caption this, and I want to hear what you came up with in the comments, please. So this is one of the funny photos that I took of these two. It just totally made me laugh. Penny looks like an angry polar bear, and Jesse was this tiny little puppy who was just such a little sass. So I want to hear what you guys came up with for this picture as a comment below. And here's what I came up with for it. The moment you realize you may have taken your mouthing off a bit too far. We've all been there with our parents. Okay, now we're going to reveal all of the answers to all of these photos. So if you look at this one, try to find the 4 white stars, and that's where you will find the dogs. And I'm wondering how each of you did. So as you go through here, were you able to find each of these guys? You know, we're just going to quickly go through each of the photos so that you have time to look for each of the stars. Again, the 4 stars represent the 4 dogs in each photo. I thought this one was pretty hard. They really blended in, I think, particularly, gosh, who is that? Henry? And who's in the back? Farley? Yeah, you can barely see them. Were you able to get all 5 in this one? You know, the 5 stars representing the 4 dogs and Angel Annie, who decided to make an appearance today. And then last, we have just our last photo, which was the Winter Wonderland, again featuring all 5, the 4 dogs and then Angel Annie. And boy, Jessie got right up in front there, didn't she? I hope you got them all. This one is the reveal for the 10 differences. Number 1 being on the far left, the bridge was gone. Number 2 being Annie's ears are lightened. Number 3, Toby's halo is missing. Number 4, the fur from Reese's coat has been removed. 5, the white chest on Levi's been removed. 6, we're gonna wash this gray right out of Farley's muzzle. 7, Penny has a black nose. 8, Jessie has no tail. 9, marks in the snow. And 10, the bridge on the far right was removed. Did you get them all? Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of The Dogs Are Winning. Hope you had fun. We certainly did.